Hey, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuits, one half of the creative team behind Dungeonswag.com. And we are making a bed mat or a bedroll for your tabletop RPG, whatever you're playing. And last episode we assembled this with a piece of foam and a little piece of foam and a piece of an old t-shirt. And now we're going to paint it up. Now, this is a Mod Podge mix that we made. It's just Mod Podge, glue, and paint. And it has given it a pretty good coating, and now we're going to try to lighten it up and make it a little more interesting. So the first color we're going to hit it with is this chestnut, and we're going to try to lighten it up with that. So I'm just going to dip it right into my lid, and I'm going to spread it around. And we don't want to take all the paint off. This is not a real dry brush. This is kind of a damp brush, wet brush, what have you. And we're just going to try to lighten it up, but not hit every single spot and hit every crack. We want those dark recesses so that it looks grim, dark, and grimy a little bit. We could do a wash, but it's just not worth putting the amount of time into doing stuff with a wash when you're just making some terrain that you want to toss on your table. If you're working on miniatures, yeah, by all means, spend the extra second. But my recommendation is to not do that for this kind of junk. So now we're going to lighten it up one more time, and this will be more like a dry brush, okay? We're going to try to get as much paint as we realistically can off of here. And this piece of cardboard is just the packaging from a little paintbrush holder. It's nothing too spectacular. We're going to hit that with some hot air. Grab my blow dryer. There we go. And we're going to hit it with this. Just lighten it up real good, leaving some of that dark behind, right? Now, this time, I am actually going to go just a tidbit lighter. I'm going to get a different brush. And we're going to hit it with the air again. Sorry, wasn't paying attention. Alright, hit it with some air. Generally, an indicator that your last coat is dry enough to do what you want to do is if you don't really see anything shining on it, okay? If you see stuff shining, you might not be where you want to be. Alright, now we're just going to come around the corners. Get the sides pretty good. Hit that pillow a little bit because we're going to be lightening that up. Alright, need a little bit more here. Not a problem, just a little bit though. This is where you can really mess up if you're going too far with a dry brush, and then you create more work for yourself. Alright, so we want to use like a gray for our pillow maybe. So I got a gray, and then I'm going to hit it with a off-white dry brush. Again, we're just using junk brushes that we had laying around. We're not using our nice stuff that we use on our minis. Okay, I don't know if you can see well. So that was a little bit lighter than I wanted to, so we're going to have to dirty that up. That's not a problem, though. We have that technology. Let's come in with something a little darker. What do I have? I got pewter gray. Let's dry that off. I'm just getting the shiny to go away. We're going to grab some pewter gray. Get as much of that off the brush as we can. You should not do what I'm about to do here and dip one color into the lid of another. That is not a responsible move, but I am all about speed here at Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And I don't think it's going to break the bank on us if I have to replace a little. Oh, there we go. That's a dingier, better, more realistic color for us. Okay. And this paint coat does not have to be perfect in any way. Because if people are crouching down at your table and inspecting your miniature terrain, they are the problem. We're going to hit that again real quick with the blow dryer. If you guys are interested in free minis, hold on. If you guys are interested in free minis right now, Asco has gone on the Dungeon Swag website and he has set up a promo or no, it's not on the website, I apologize. On the Discord, he has set up a promo where you can get it at no cost to you, a mini sent to your house. And it's not going to be like a crap mini. It's going to be something good, you know. It's going to be like this orc I'm going to be painting very soon here. And these minis are high quality. And they are actually the reason we started Dungeon Swag. It was kind of like during the pandemic, and I was crafting a lot of miniatures from scratch. I was pretty poor. Things weren't going well. And life was kind of at a standstill for us, for me mostly. And I said, man, I wish I could have some of these really nice miniatures I see online in my price range. And we were talking a lot about 3D printing and how to make the models, the STLs and stuff, and we didn't really know a lot about it. And we did some research, and then Dungeon Swag came to be. We knew that we could cut out a lot of profit that companies make to provide a product that we would be proud of, and that's what we decided to do. Alright, so our bedroll's starting to look pretty good here. It's got almost everything we need, but it's not very dirty. So what we want to do is we want to get some... You don't have to buy these, by the way. If you go to Wendy's, you can just grab a stack of these little ketchup cups for free. It's their fault for using plastics. They should not be using plastics for ketchup. These do not biodegrade. They sit in the landfill. Just a little drop of that, and we're going to get it pretty wet. Now, my wash water actually has soap in it, so it's not ideal for this kind of gig. But here we go. Get it good and dark. We're going to do a little drop of black, too. Just a tiny, tiny drop of black. And we're not going to put that directly in. We're going to get a little bit of black on our brush. And we're going to mix that in. Darken that up a little bit. I'm going to get a little bit more water. Okay. So once your brush is so wet that it's not quite dripping off, but it's close. See? It could drip off if I messed with it enough. You're going to get that. You're going to wipe some of that loose. And you're just going to hit some of the... It should absorb directly into this t-shirt if I'm not mistaken. And it looks like it's mostly doing that. Okay. So now it's kind of grungy and roadworthy. Maybe a little bit of dirt up in here. Pillow's got some... You've been laying your head on it. It's got some gross. And then we're just going to get a little piece of t-shirt and dab off any excess wet. If you want, you can even, when it's still a little bit wet, you can kind of smear that down and lighten it up. Alright, so there we go. Now we got our good looking bed mat for your TTRPGs, for your campsite. We're going to hit it with a hairdryer, we're going to clear coat it, and we're going to see what it looks like. A quick Saturday morning craft. Alright. If I can find some clear coat. There we go. If you do not have your own paint booth, I recommend you get a fan and build yourself with a giant cardboard box and some removable pieces, a nice paint booth. You can have that fan blown directly into like a t-shirt, an old t-shirt, and it'll collect the particles pretty well until it gets nasty. But I guarantee you have some old shirts, your wife has some old shirts, your kids have some old shirts, somebody has some old material that you can use. Don't use like towels like that you dry yourself off with. Those are not, they're not good. They get plugged up and then the air doesn't flow through them. But the t-shirts, it seems to work fine. So now we have it. Let's pop it off our base. We see in the bottom here, that's where the glue was. And we have some spots where it's not laying down nice because the t-shirt's overflowing. And we can either cut those off, or we can do what I'm doing right here. We can just bend those up so they don't make it lay on flat. And now you have one of those. So let's take another look at the +5 cleaver of liking and subscribing. It's kind of heavy, but let's look at it. Let's enjoy it. Oh my gosh, it is pretty dull, but it'll cut you actually because I've had an incident with my leg. This is not something you want to drop on yourself. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Go check out the Discord. See how to get a free mini.